Hello, this is Nashil for SolidTech Solutions, and in this quick video I'm going to show you how we can create and update bill of materials information in SolidWorks. In particular, we're going to create some bill of materials. We're going to exclude components from the bill of materials. I'll talk about how we can use smart components in bill of materials. We'll do some ballooning, and we'll talk a little bit about updating, and we'll see the power of SolidWorks associativity. We'll drag the bill of materials to another sheet, and we'll export it into an Excel document as well. So let's get started. I have this assembly document open here, and it's made up of a couple of parts and a sub-assembly. The sub-assembly has a couple of components underneath it as well. The very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a drawing, and I'll drag a view out into the drawing. Just an isometric view is fine. And we can very quickly insert a bill of materials into this drawing. And the bill of materials, as you can see, snaps into some of the typical places where you might place it. I'll just place it on the top right corner here. And you'll notice it's come in fully complete. We have some item number information, part number information, description, and quantity. Taking a look at some of the options that we have, we can bring the bill of materials in top level only, where it brings in components from basically the main assembly, and you will not have any of the subcomponents in here. This is just all the parts in the assembly without any sub-assemblies. And this is an indented or a nested bill of materials. I currently have the no numbering option, which is the reason why we don't see an item number here, but we can change that to detailed numbering. So here we have item number 4, which is a sub-assembly. Item numbers 4.1 and 4.2 are components underneath the sub-assembly. And we can also do a flat numbering structure where it's basically just starts from 1 in increments by 1, like we see here right now. Some of the other options we have is the ability to control justification information. We have some horizontal and vertical justification. We could do some text rotation, fit the text in the cell, and there's some cell padding formatting here as well. And we have the ability to hide an entire column or a row if you want to quickly get rid of them from view. Now, we have column B here. This is the part number column, and currently you can see it's bringing in information. Basically, it's sort of like a descriptive information about what the part is. Now we can change that. If I just highlight the column and select this column property button right here, we'll get a list of all the column headers that are available. So we have unit of measure, equation, item number, part number. And one that people often use is this custom property column header, and we can select custom properties at the component level. And I have a part number custom property applied to each of these components, so I'm just going to select that, and we can see right away it's actually populated with all the information. And if I just open that up, I'll show you where this information is coming from. There's the custom property window for that part, and you can see here's the custom property part number. It's a text property, and it has the value of ST-70. Now, if you would like to exclude some components from this bill of materials, we can do that quite easily as well. Just expand this column over on the left hand side. For example, if we do not wish to show item number 1, we can just right click here and say exclude from the bill of materials, and that'll get rid of it, and it also reorders the item numbers accordingly as well. I'm going to open this assembly up in its own window, and I'm going to make a quick change. As you can see, this assembly is currently incomplete. We're missing the screw feature that will go in and bring together the clamp and the connecting rod here. So I'm just going to insert the component. It's this free vise screw here, and I'll just put it in place. I'm not going to bother mating it. It's not necessary for the purpose of this demonstration. I just need it to be included in the assembly. Now when I click it, when I bring this in, you'll notice that it actually has a star beside it, and that means in SolidWorks that this is a smart component. And the nice thing about this is that if we click on this star, and I'll just accept this, it's actually brought in not only the vise, but it's also brought in one bit of additional information. This is, for example, a grease part, and sometimes you may not necessarily wish to model information, but you do want it to show up in your bill of materials. This is a nice way to make sure that this grease part always shows up. And this grease part always travels with this vise screw, so if you use it anywhere you use it, you can always explode this in your assembly tree, and you don't, without having to model it up, you can get it into your bill of materials. A very quick and handy feature. Let's switch back to our drawing now, and you'll notice that the bill of materials information has updated not only with the vise screw that we've just brought in, but it's also added the grease part as well. No bill of materials information is complete without balloons showing where the parts reside in the model. So let's quickly add some balloon annotations. There we are. New for 2012, we have some magnetic lines that makes orienting your balloons very easy. I can quickly change the direction and orientation of the balloons. I can quickly snap existing balloons onto this magnetic line, and I can also tell it to space the balloons equally on the line very easily and quickly. The next thing I'd like to show you is associativity in SolidWorks. If I am to make a change to this part, for example, if I change the part number, let's go ahead and do that right now. The part number currently is ST-63, so I'll just delete that, and I'll apply a new part number to this part. So we can see the part number has in fact changed. I'll save my changes now and close this document. When we return back to the bill of materials, you can see that the part number has changed to the information that we've just entered, saving you from having to enter information in more than one location. This is the true power of SolidWorks associativity. If you were to print this out, this drawing or this bill of materials might look a bit small on another sheet. So what we can do is we can create another sheet, and we can drag this bill of materials directly on this sheet. Now we can simply drag this to the middle, make it bigger as we wish. We don't necessarily have to have the assembly model on this page in order to get a bill of materials out on this page. We can now print this page out separately with a nice large bill of materials, which is easy to read. Finally, the last thing I'd like to show you is the ability to export this into an Excel document. We can just right click and save as. We have a couple of options. So we can do Excel 2007 format or older formats as well, and we can do text and comma separated values. Why would you want to save this information into Excel? Well, Excel will give you, of course, a tabulated information basically consisting of your bill of materials, and you can then import that information into your ERP or your MRP to run costing and stock quantity information. So in summary, we've taken a look at creating bill of materials in SolidWorks. We've excluded components from the bill of materials. We saw how we can use smart components in bill of materials to get additional information into the BOM without necessarily having to model it. We've seen some ballooning, and we've seen the associativity in SolidWorks where updating information in one location causes that information to update in other locations as well. And we've dragged the bill of materials on another sheet, and we saw how we can export the bill of materials into an Excel document. Thanks very much for watching.